Hello everyone, this is Roland. This is number 14 in a series of programs about shedding the shackles of the past and moving forward to a bright future. In fact, I've also entitled it Starting Over. Starting Over. See, a lot of you blew it. Some of you who are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, 70, you made mistakes. And you literally can start over again. That you will have to face what you did. Okay, what mistakes that you made. Some of them are very subtle. See, one of the mistakes that we make, and this is useful to you younger people too, so you can hear this. One of the mistakes we make is that we do what everyone says. Okay, whatever anyone says, and we do it. We assume that they know what they're talking about, and we assume that that's the best you possibly do. Okay. Now, of course, when it comes to changing your oil, or how to put it, how to replace some part on your car or something like that, of course, then what people who have experience in those areas have to say is important. But when it comes to the really important things in life, okay, the really, really important things, then you're sort of on your own. The really, really important things. Okay? For example, I'll just give you an example. Little child. And when the little child is left with the babysitter becomes mean. First of all, the babysitter does things that the babysitter is not supposed to do, like talking on the phone, see, or having someone come over, see, things like that. The babysitter is not supposed to do things like that. But even worse, the babysitter becomes mean, bossy, pushy, see, and can be downright mean. Let's just put it that way. Now, when the parents come home, the little child tries to tell the parents. Or if the babysitter doesn't have to be, the neighborhood teenager, the next door neighbor's teenager. It could be an aunt. See, could be an aunt, or an older cousin. See, or something like that. Someone who's supposed to be really nice. But when parents are gone, then you see the other face. Well, when the parents come home, the little child says that, my aunt was mean. Oh, don't say that about your aunt. Why, your aunt is a wonderful person. And of course, parents ask the aunt, well, your child said you were mean. Oh, I wasn't mean. Why, the little child was being bad and didn't want to wash her hands. And I just told her to wash her hands. See, so it's nothing like what really happened. Okay? Well, you see the confusion there? The little child clearly sees what the truth is. But everyone denies, see, what the little child is saying. That's the classic example. You see the truth, people deny it. See? You can be punished for telling the truth. You can even be punished for being happy. How many stories are there about the child sitting at the dinner table and the child is happy, smiling, or just giggling or something like that, and all of a sudden gets yelled at, or slapped, or told to go to her room, all because she was happy, see? So you see, you have to learn to trust, but that's not exactly on topic. That was a little side thing, but I just wanted to mention that. So you have to learn to trust what you know in your heart. See, Columbus, when he set sail for America, everybody said, well, what are you doing? This is crazy. When Einstein came up with some of his ideas, people didn't buy it at all. See, some of his ideas his discoveries, see, he didn't actually come up with them, he discovered them through his intuition. See, he trusted what he knew in his heart. He trusted what he wordlessly knew. And then, lo and behold, years later, it was proved that he was right, and he knew he was right. See, he trusted people like Abraham, Isaac, Jeremiah, see, Enoch, Elijah. They walked. They in their heart they knew what was right, and they trusted it. It's called faith. See, so faith is not some far out thing. It's not some far out weird thing in some nebulous spiritual something or other. It can be as simple as common sense. As simple as common sense. See? Or it can be as simple as everybody's rushing to do the latest thing, the latest experimental treatment, or buying the latest thing. See? They're all rushing for it. And for some reason you demur. Okay? That's also faith. Or you're sitting at home, let's say you're I don't know, teenager, or let's say you're 19 years old, okay, you're at college or something, and all of a sudden here come a bunch of kids, hey, let's go do something, let's get in the car and go do something. And all 3, 4, 5 other teenagers are going to get in the car at 11 o'clock at night and go do something. But somehow you sense something within you, see, you just sense it's not good, so you say, no, oh, come on, what are you, goody two-shoes or something? You say, well, I've got studying, or I'm not feeling well. You make some excuse, okay? You make some excuse, but you don't go. That's faith. So you see, common sense, trusting what you know in your heart. Yesterday I gave the example, which I always give, but it's a very good one. It's nighttime, you're in a big city, you're taking a nighttime course at local college, and now you're walking to your car. So you work all day, you have your car parked somewhere in a parking lot, and then you take this class at night, and now it's 9:30 at night, you're walking to your car, and you always go through an alley. It's a shortcut to get to your car, but this time all of a sudden for some reason you have a sense not to go down that alley, so you don't. Okay, who knows what was waiting in that alley? Who knows what was lurking there? But you're spared. You'll never find out. You're spared the horror of what might have happened because you trusted your intuition. See? But to a large extent, people will try to make you doubt your intuition. They'll try to make you doubt what you know in your heart. See? And when it comes to the really, really important things in life, the really, really important things in life. And generally what it turns out to be is that they're trying to force some idea on you, and it doesn't sit right with you. Or you just don't know, and so you're waiting until you do know. See, that's the way I am. I wait until I do know. See? For example, in the realm of religion, there's a lot of things I didn't know. Okay, I heard about Jesus and, things like that. And I liked, what I heard when I was a kid and a young person, but I didn't know for sure. I just heard it, that's all. But had no idea. At that time, I was more interested in radio and baseball and sports and, all kinds of cool stuff. Riding my bicycle. Everything was more important than that. But then as I got older, then a change happened, and I began to be more interested in such things. But I still didn't know. Okay? But then later, okay, I did know. All of a sudden, I just knew. I just knew what was true. I knew about Jesus and so on. And I just knew, not because anybody told me. I saw it. I just knew within. Somehow within, I just knew, wordlessly. Okay? So when it comes to the really, really important things in life, see, you have to trust your intuition. See? Some things, they don't sit right with you, so you don't do them. Some things you hear what people say, but you're not sure, so you wait. See? That's what God wants. Remember, there's a beautiful passage where he said, days coming when one man won't teach his brother, because I will put my laws in their minds and their hearts, and I shall be their God, and they shall be my people. See? Well, another place Christ said, to worship God in spirit and in truth, and God wants such worshipers. He wants people that know that it's like one man and his God, one woman and her God. Okay. See, you quietly in your own way, you quietly search out the way, based upon what you know in your heart. See, there's another place where Jesus said, who do people say that I am? He said to the apostles. And one apostle said, well, some say you're Elijah, some say you're John the Baptist, some say you're this and that. He said, well, who do you say that I am? And then Peter said, you are Christ, the Son of the living God. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah. Blessed are you. For flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. Okay. And he said, upon this rock I will build my church. In other words, upon people like you, who see for yourself, who know for yourself within. See? Upon people like you, I will build my church. Okay? So it's very important for the really, really big things in your life to trust what you know in your heart. And can you see how it's a really big thing whether you go down that alley or not? Whether you get in that car with those kids or not, and then something awful happens to them late at night and you're safe because you didn't go? Can you see? And then on the positive side, too, you know, all of a sudden the door opens up and you gently go through that door. And it's the door you're supposed to go through to happiness, to prosperity. See? Whereas other people, they won't see that door open up. There's a timing involved. See? And it's just open for a short time. But because you're aware, you're not caught up in things, not lost in things, not lost in study, not lost in emotions, and, you know, getting too involved with foolish arguments and what other people are saying and doing. You're a little bit standoffish. Okay? A little bit your own person. See? And so you're more aware, and when that door opens up, you see it and you go through to safety, to happiness. See? It's the way life is. Very delicate. Life is a very delicate thing. You can't pre-plan it all. You can't. See, first of all, pre-planning ruins it. See? Of course, if you're going to bake a cake, that's not a good example. Cake is not something good to eat, healthy for us. A bread, you're going to bake a wholesome bread, okay? Well, when you go to the store, then you have to buy flour and whatever other ingredients you're going to put in that bread. You see what I mean? So you could say that's planning, but what I'm talking about is, for example, let's say you're going on vacation. You know, some people plan every little aspect of it. Okay? And then if things don't work out, they get all upset. You know, like some people, they're planning a party or a wedding shower or something. I mean, of course you have to send out invitations there, but they just they fret too much. Some ladies will have people over for dinner. And then if one of the dishes doesn't turn out, they're stricken. See? So it's much better off if you're more spontaneous. So when you think back to when you were a kid or in the past, a lot of times the things that were the most fun they just happened. See, you didn't plan it. It happened. And it's a lot of fun. When you plan it, it tends to ruin it. See? Whenever there's a lot of planning, it's ego involved. So you know how it is, how people can ruin it, like a little kid, you know, plays 3 notes on the piano in a nice way. And then the mother says, oh, he's going to be a concert pianist. He's going to be famous. He's going to be like Lang Lang or Horowitz. And you're going to have to take lessons and study and get your doctorate in music. And see, the kid may never want to play again. See, he didn't want all that. All he was just enjoying playing a couple of notes. Now, if he has talent, see, then it'll unfold, it'll happen in God's time, see, with the talent that God gave him. But if she forces it, she can ruin it. See, a lot of people throw their instrument down. They just throw it down because there's too much pressure. Too much pressure. It's ruined. See? So, planning too much, trying to make something happen. See? It ruins it. So you have to trust your intuition. You have to have a light touch. You have to wait. You have to wait for the right moment. Timing is important. See? Get your ego out of it. Our ego is always there wanting to, with a big mouth, declare this and declare that. Remember Jesus one time said, let your answer be, yes, yes, or no, no. He says, anything else is of the devil. That's what he said. See? I'm sure you can, if you're a parent or if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you can think back to when you said something and after the minute you said it, the second after you said it, you wish you hadn't said it. You saw that it was a wrong thing. See? So, Ann Landers once said, she was a famous columnist, newspaper columnist. She answered people's questions. She once said, it's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Okay? It's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Okay? So a lot of times just watching. There's a beautiful passage in the Bible where Jesus is doing something and he said, Mary watched these things and kept them in her heart. See? She watched. There's something beautiful about watching. Like parents, if they have patience, or grandparents, if they have patience, they watch the little children play. See? They're watching, to protect the children, make sure they're fine. Then they just watch. See? There's something very beautiful about watching. Keeping a vigil. Okay? It's almost a form of prayer when you see parents beside their child. If a child is not well and they're sitting beside the child's bed, watching. Okay? It's almost a form of prayer, silent prayer. See, to God. Well, okay, so you got the idea. You got to trust what you know in your heart, and people will try to make you doubt. See, a lot of men had an idea for a business they wanted to start, for example. Okay. Of course, some men have a goofy idea, but some men will have a good idea to start a business. It's their talent, it's what they like, it seems right, the timing's right, etc., etc. But the wife says, no, you can't do that. Why, we won't have any security. We won't have medical care. We won't have medical benefits. Why can't you be like Joe down the street? Why, he has a job where he has benefits and has 2 weeks paid vacation, and if you do this, then see what I mean? It's her job to make him doubt. See, she's Eve. She's his Eve. Okay? And it's her job to make him doubt. So he shouldn't resent her. She's doing her job. He has to look in his heart, and he has to see whether what he's doing is the wise thing, the proper thing, the intuitive thing. He just senses, like Columbus, that just sensed to go. Or Einstein, see, then if that's the case, then he has to pursue his destiny, his passion. Passion's not really the right word, but just what he knows is the right way to go. He sees that it's the right way. Just like a father, people will make you doubt yourself. Father will say, no, you can't go out after 10 o'clock. You can't. The kids say, oh, Dad, you're so mean, all the other kids can do it. And the wife says, oh, let them go. They're just young. They're having a good time. No, I'm sorry. You can't go out after 10. He just sees that they shouldn't be going out late at night. He sees that very clearly. And everybody says that he's mean and, a grump and everything else, but no, he's not mean, he's not a grump, he's not angry, he just sees clearly, that's all, that they shouldn't go out, so he just says no. See, and he doesn't doubt himself. Later on, the kids are glad because they know Dad cares and they know they're safe. They think back on Dad and how he was protective of them and watched over them. He stood for principle. See, they'll respect him. If you're the father, if you stand for principle, then they respect you. No, but not angrily, with a twinkle in your eye. But you know what's right, and you stand for what's right, see? You see how that's faith? See how that's doing, trusting what you know in your heart? So when it comes to the career and life and all these things, the really, really important things in life. Remember I said the really, really important things in life. And you have to always check with your intuition. Okay? It's okay to hear what other people say. Don't resent. Hear what they say. They may have some good information for you. But ultimately, it's your intuition that has to be your guide. My name is Roland.